Welcome back. Uganda is set to introduce a new tax on social media users in July to increase revenue, but human rights activists say it's a move by long-serving President Yoweri Museveni to suppress freedom of expression. Museveni has ruled Uganda for 31 years. His term has been marked by increased public anger over corruption, human rights violations, and poor social services.
The move is unlikely to go down well in a country where more than 40% of people use the internet. Data costs in Africa are already among the world's highest, and that's according to digital advocacy group World Wide Web Foundation. Online shopping platform Jumia say the new tax may affect profits and see them lose clients who use the company to market products.
This is definitely going to affect the business, and the challenge we're having here is it is a form of double taxation, because originally we know that on the airtime that we pay and the data that we use, we pay taxes on. And of course, as companies, we also pay corporation tax. So these are the tools that we're using to make money, and we are being limited on them. And so it's quite very inconveniencing.
Over 22 million people in Uganda are mobile phone subscribers, and about 17 million use the internet. Finance Minister Matia Kasaija says the tax will charge each mobile phone subscriber using platforms such as WhatsApp, Twitter and Facebook 200 Ugandan shillings per day. The proposal is to be included in the budget for the fiscal year 2018 to 2019 starting in July and has already been sent to Parliament for review after the Cabinet approved it.
I don't really think that it's a good idea to be taxed to social media. But I don't know, because I've heard that in 2016 the UN Commission said that internet is a basic right, it's a human right. So I don't think I need to be taxed for something that is viewed globally as a human right, something I need to access because I'm just a human.
I believe the President's idea of taxing social media is going to solve the problem of idleness and all that. So in my opinion, I really encourage it, though it shouldn't be too much, to limit people's freedoms of expression and all that.
Human rights activists have criticized the proposal, saying it's part of a wider attempt to curtail freedoms of expression in the country.
We must challenge that tax, either by way of litigation or really by way of pressure on our MPs to say, because no tax can be levied without the approval of Parliament, so we must pressure our MPs to say, this tax is not a good tax. This tax is a tax that will limit access and therefore affect access to information, access to services, will impact on businesses that are being run by young entrepreneurs whose primary platform is social media. Once we make MPs understand the importance of social media in our socio-economic and political fabric, maybe then the MPs will not pass any law that would allow for taxation of usage of social media.
The government blocked access to Facebook, Twitter and WhatsApp during the last general election in 2016, a move used by other entrenched rulers in Africa in response to grassroots movements against them.
And Egypt's finance minister says he's confident the $23 billion that foreigners invested in Egyptian treasury bills will stay in the country thanks to its improved credit profile and rising global liquidity. The trade-off between risks and returns remains attractive, and investments have been rising in recent weeks and months. The level of foreign investment in Egypt's high-yielding local currency debt is manageable and below historical 2010 highs, equivalent to almost $30 billion in today's terms. The Egyptian economy reappeared on foreign investors' radar after the government embarked on an economic overhaul plan in November 2016 that included floating the currency and slashing subsidies. 226 Kara is a ready-to-wear fashion brand that is set to revolutionize Burkina Faso fashion by using locally sourced products. It was not easy to get started in a country where the fashion industry has not grown beyond a scattering of tailors making clothes on order for individual customers. Burkina Faso produces more than 700,000 tons of raw cotton a year, but only 5% is processed locally.
This fashion event on a street in Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou, is a platform for emerging designers to introduce themselves to the public. The audience was made up of hundreds of local residents who gathered to watch models strut down a street that transformed into a catwalk. With the theme Colors of Africa, the event was an opportunity for designers like Raheza Kabore to be seen and take part in a fashion event for the first time. Raheza started out at the age of 23, learning to sketch as an apprentice to her mentor Sebastian Bezemo, one of Burkina Faso's most popular stylists. Then she started her own label, 226 Kara, and now makes men's and women's ready-to-wear and custom-made outfits using a combination of African print and Fassa Denfani, Burkina Faso's national cloth.
I took the time to save money. I deprived myself of a lot of things for maybe 2 years. I saved everything I earned. At some point, some people thought I was stingy and I didn't tell them. I knew why I did not want to spend because I had my plan. It was hard for me to get a bank loan, for example. I was not working and it was not necessarily what my parents wanted.
Raheza says she's working on integrating more of Fassa Denfani fabric, which is 100% cotton, into her designs to play her part in building a textile industry. Raheza's customers say they are drawn to her unique style of mixing traditional and modern designs.
It's the mix of the modern and traditional, yes. And when I made my first model and wore it, people really enjoyed it. So I came back and made other models. You can find anything you want with her designs, whether it's evening dresses or casual wear. You find a bit of everything here.
Raheza is now working towards attracting a more international customer base and has already received orders from clients living in the United States, Canada and France.
And with that, we draw the curtain on today's edition of the program. Thank you very much for being part of it. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwagu.